This podcast is being recorded and produced on Gadigal land.
We pay our respects to the traditional custodians of this country and elders past present.
We extend our respect to any First Nations, Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people joining us today.
Always was, always will be Aboriginal land.
I'm Brittney Saunders.
And I'm alright, hey, and this is High Scrollers, the podcast version of your favourite group chat.
If it's trending, going viral or has you gripped, we're talking about it.
Well, this week we're not talking about it. In fact, it's me talking about it, and Brittney is not here right now. We woke up this morning here at High Scrollers HQ to a message from Brittney saying that she cannot make it today. We might let her explain what's happened next week. But basically, if you know Brittney, you know what a hustler she is. And if she says she cannot make it for whatever reason, there is a valid reason. And so this week, Brittney is not with us, but I am joined by her understudy.
Hello.
Starr. Hello.
Hi.
Starr MCG. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
We woke up this morning, I panicked, and Starr was the first person that I rang and thankfully agreed to come and do the show. So we'll kick off in just a second. But coming up on this episode, it's very fun because we are talking the TV Week Logie Awards and all the petty gripes that we have with that.
We are trash talking the TV Week Logie Awards, really.
Yeah. And we feel good after doing so.
Plus, we are giving you all the goss on the movie It Ends With Us, and we share our thoughts.
We can finally talk about it. We've both read the book. It's good to have another book lover here. Did we love it? Did we think they did it justice? What do we think about the whole thing? We'll let you know soon. Plus, this is a very nostalgic episode. Starr, you're known on the internet for doing a lot of nostalgic content.
Yes.
And without even meaning to, we've kind of gone on like a trip down memory lane. Also, very Central Coast heavy episode for all my coasties out there.
The lore runs deep with this episode. You've also dropped a story about when you got held at knife point.
Oh,
so,
yes!
yeah,
So
what's a little one?
exciting! No, it's nice. It's nice. Yeah, you stick around for that. You'll absolutely love that. All that and more coming up on this episode. Deal me in, Joel. Let's go.
I've waited my whole life to be able to say this to you. Good morning.
No, I thought I'd get a break this week from having to hear that. My goodness. Hello, Scrollers. Welcome to another episode of High Scrollers. Today, as we explained in the intro, Brittney is not with us. Rest in peace.
MIA.
Fly
She's
high,
gone.
etc. I have replaced her, which is very exciting for me, if I'm honest. I was very sad this morning when I woke up to the message from Brittney saying that she wouldn't be here, but super exciting because I get to have Starr on board.
Yay!
Which Starr is a big scroller.
I actually am. Like, I said to you, okay, first of all, I got a call from Matt before 8 a.m. and I'm racking through my brain going, what is going on here? Like, has someone in the industry been cancelled? What's the goss? And you actually sounded really happy on the phone. I was like, oh, now I actually have no idea what's happening. But yes, the rumors are true. I am a really big scroller. So like the fan to co-host pipeline, never give up on your dreams, guys. Sorry, Britt, hope you feel better. But I'm here, which is the most important thing.
She's loving it. I'm loving the energy, and it's an honour to have you here. And Starr and I are such good friends. I was thinking of who could fill in today, Starr was the first person. First of all, because I knew she'd be awake before 8 a.m, as so many of us aren't. And I knew you'd be up doing like a hot girl walk or something, so I thought I'd call. And then second of all, I was like, it just makes sense because one, you obviously know how the show works, but two, I was thinking Starr and I go for walks all the time, and it is very much like, you know, that friend that like when you get together and go on a walk, there is no topic off limits.
Yeah.
You talk about absolutely everything. It's quite like a close friend story here on the podcast. We have D&Ms every walk that we have and like spill every secret from our life with each other. And I mean, that's High Scrollers. That's Brittney and my relationship as well, is there's no topic that's off limits. So I was like, Starr is the perfect person to fill in today, so it's very exciting to have you here, but also a little weird. Like I feel like I'm like this feels illegal. It feels illegal. I feel like I'm cheating. I feel like I'm cheating on Brittney, but that's all right. She hopefully will be back next week.
I hope so too. But it is an absolute honour to be sitting here in this chair. And I must say, every time we get to the end of our hot girl walks, we get back to the car. I'm like, okay, bye. And then we end up standing there for another 20 minutes because it's like, oh, just one more thing to talk about. Oh, and oh my God, what about this?
Yeah.
And then we also sit in the car individually.
Yeah.
for some quiet time for like at least 45 minutes and have a wee scroll.
And then we drive home and then we sit in the car at home as well. And then like we'll send each other a TikTok or something like 40 minutes later and Starr will be like, are you still sitting in the car? And I'm like, yeah, I haven't got out yet. Like, so that's so fun. Well, it's a huge honour to have you here and be able to say first and foremost, what is your royal flush of the week?
Oh, it has been a big week on the internet. But the first thing that came to mind for me this morning was cucumber talk. Are you on cucumber talk?
Yes.
I actually saw that you made the cucumber recipe the other day.
I
Okay.
did.
In case you missed it, there's this guy named Logan on TikTok. Not to be confused with Logan Paul. Okay, let's separate the two.
God, no.
And he
Who,
believes
by the way,
that-
have you seen Logan Paul's now a wrestler or something?
Yeah, he's in the WWE.
I saw him backflipping off a trampoline or something and body slamming someone the other day. I said, darling, you're doing way too much. Come on, like, please.
Are you going to start doing that soon? 'Cause you've been on the internet for a while too.
Oh, imagine the rebrand to WWE. Well, you know what's funny is there's a WWE wrestler called Big Show. The Big Show is actually when I was saying Big Show originally, people were like the WWE wrestler. And if you type in Big Show to the internet, like all these wrestling images come up, and I didn't realize that. But how funny is that? Maybe. I think I'd be good at wrestling.
I
honestly.
think you would too. Like, it's pretty camp. I could see you in like a Reputation kind of vibe outfit,
Yeah.
and then you just come out, all the lights black out, smoke machines.
Yeah.
It would be stunning. Also, Big Show the wrestler. I'll see you in court.
Oh, yeah, I know. Well, actually, I think we'll see him in court because he's suing me. I think he'd have the trademark. I think they would have worked that out. But no, I can see myself as a wrestler. I mean, realistically, wrestling is just theatre, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's all theatre. It's all fake. It's all choreographed. They're giving musical theatre without the music. But I just love the drama of a wrestling entrance.
Oh, it's amazing.
When they walk out and they've got the big, dinner plate trophy belt thing around their shoulder and they're waving, and the way that the men go crazy for these other men oiled up in tiny little speedos wrestling other oiled up tiny little speedos men. I mean, really, it is a queer event as far as I'm concerned. Wrestling is Mardi Gras. You heard it here first. Anyway, what's been happening with the cucumbers?
Back to cucumber talk. So we've got Logan on TikTok who believes you should eat an entire cucumber a day. I mean, not like a little Lebanese cucumber, like a full-on massive one. And he has gone so viral for creating all of these cucumber recipes. He slices his cucumber with a mandolin. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, what a great drag name. Please, welcome to the stage, Amanda Lynn.
But also, the thing about it is it terrifies me because people are slicing away their bloody cucumbers and losing half of their finger in the process.
Yeah.
I've seen so many TikToks of people ending up in the ER because they've gone too hard with it. Just
Yeah.
slow down, everyone. But
scary.
I've also seen him kind of encroach into onion territory as well. He says sometimes you need to eat an entire onion, and I'm just not sure.
I can't
about
get
that.
around that.
What
I
if
mean,
I
I can't eat onions with the
Bit sore in
stomach
the
issues
tummy.
going on at the moment. The gut issues. Oh, onions. Yeah,
I think
unfortunately, I would love to love them. But I also just when I made the video about the cucumbers, the amount of people were like, you should have added this. And I'm like, that wasn't in the recipe that I followed. And then people being like, you forgot the onion. And I'm like, well, I left it out on purpose because I can't eat them. Like, I didn't just, it was real yum though. I will admit. Have you tried it yet?
No, but I feel like I usually eat a cucumber every day anyway. But what I don't fuck with... Oh, sorry. Can I
Yeah,
swear,
you can
right? Yeah.
swear.
Sorry.
Allah, you're on the fucking
Oh my
High
God.
Scrollers podcast,
Okay,
love.
what I don't fuck with is letting the cucumber go soggy. It's like when you eat Wheat Bix, do you let the milk sit there and let the cereal go really soggy? And I kind of feel like it's the same with cucumber. You need the crunch. I'm not interested in a flaccid cucumber salad.
Okay. I don't think mine went flaccid.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
You nailed the timing then.
Yeah, well, I had it straight away. What do? Let it sit there and
Well,
congeal.
Sometimes there's too many steps and they're shaking for too long. Like,
Okay.
time is of the essence.
Yeah, no, mine was definitely crunchy. I was really surprised because I don't love cucumbers, and I also can't believe we're talking about this. It's just so random. But we've had a lot of good things happen on this podcast. I mean, I cut my first carrot. Now I've sliced my first cucumber on a mandolin. But I loved the recipe. But first of all, at the moment, very hard to source a cucumber. Lebanese
Yes.
cucumbers everywhere. Saw plenty of those, but no, actual cucumbers. Couldn't find them anywhere. And then I said that in the video and someone goes, it's not because of him, it's because they're out of season. And I went, well, no wonder they were $6 bloody. I thought this is going to send me broke. I think I got all the ingredients. I think it cost me $60 to make this cucumber salad. Yeah. I was literally looking at the receipt going, well, if it's for a video, can I claim it on tax? Surely. I mean, God. But yeah, I made it. It's really good because I don't like cucumbers, but I really enjoyed that. So it's good. I've got one more in the fridge as well because I want to make more of like a creamy version.
Yeah, yum.
Because I made, I don't know what he calls it. He has a name for it, but I made the the soy sauce with the sesame oil and that one. Yeah, delicious.
Have you seen as well in the UK there's been a salmonella outbreak with cucumbers? And of course people are like, Logan, are you going to speak about the salmonella? He's like, I am not from Big Cucumber.
Not him having to make a statement about salmonella in cucumbers. Oh, God.
So stay safe out there if you're on Cucumber Talk.
Yeah.
Be careful of your fingers. Don't slice them off. And also salmonella.
Yeah. Okay. How are you even getting salmonella from a cucumber, though?
I don't know. Nothing is safe.
Rogue, honestly. Well, my royal flush of the week spoke to me. You know how sometimes on this podcast, as a fan of the show, you'd know, Starr, on this podcast, I sometimes say it's so good when someone else says exactly what you're thinking.
Yes.
And this week is one of those weeks because this TikTok is from someone who is a dedicated night owl and not a morning person. I know I was up very early this morning, the crack of dawn of 7:30, but I am a night owl. I love being out at night. I'm creative at night. My brain works better at night. Like 2 a.m. is the sweet spot for me if I'm coming up with creative visions. As I said, when I did my show earlier this year, writing that, I call it the witching hour, like 2 to 4 a.m. That is when my brain really, it works at its best. And so, I'm a dedicated night owl. And this girl, let me have a look at her.
I couldn't be more opposite to you, honestly.
I know.
My witching hour is like 6 to 7 a.m.
Psychotic, in my opinion. Honestly, there are sometimes I would wake up. I remember waking up like back in summer, and I'd wake up and it would be, it'd still be early in the morning. Like it would literally be like 9 a.m. And I'd check Starr's story and it'd be like 4 hours ago, sunrise walk. I'm like, she's been up for 4 hours. She's watched the sunrise on the beach. And here I am, dribble hanging down my chin, blowing my nose, trying to roll out of bed to muster up the energy to fight through the day. And Starr's like, I've already filmed 7 videos and gone on a sunrise walk. And then we did a couple sunrise walks, didn't we?
You did quite well with them. I think the first one you were like, fuck this. This is not for me. I had to like bloody pull you out of the car by your leg.
Yeah.
But then,
I think, yeah. No, I think it's because I think what you see on social media is someone getting up and going for a sunrise walk. Can't think of anything worse. Now, what happened though, I'll tell you. On that very first sunrise walk, we get out of the car and I'm like, right, am I turning the Apple Watch on? Let's go. Starr goes, oh no, we'll get a coffee first. We go to the cafe, we get a coffee. The coffee comes with a little bicky. She's like, should we get a bacon egg roll or something? I said, no, we're about to go on a walk. She's like, I'm like, okay, so it's actually not about the walk at all. It's actually breakfast.
Yeah.
with a slight stroll and an Instagram pic afterwards. You know?
Because you have to prove to everyone that you're better than them.
Yeah.
But also on that first time we went, there was a few clouds. So I'm like, oh, Matt, the big moment's coming. These clouds are going to move. And I'm just like captivated by this magic. And you go, oh, is that it?
You have to
Are
remember.
you serious?
You have to remember, I'm colourblind, so sunrise and sunsets are nil interest to me. I can't see the colours anyway. Sky will always be like, oh, look, isn't it beautiful? I go, looks the same as every bloody other day, darling. He's like, the pinks and the oranges. I'm going, couldn't tell. Sky looks blue, clouds look grey. Done. So sunrise and sunset, yeah, getting up for a sunrise walk when you can't see a sunrise, isn't that devastating, depressing?
Yeah.
Like we go to Fiji, the sun sets, everyone's sitting there watching the sunset. I'm going, yeah, looks like the sun. to me.
So you could be uploading a picture of a sunrise or sunset to your story going, oh, this is amazing, and it looks like absolute shit, but you just don't know.
Yes, that's the thing. That's the thing. I also have, now that it's winter, I've been going and trying to get like new cardigans and stuff because I'm in my cardigan area. Area. I'm in my cardigan era. And saw a stunning one the other day, and I was with Kate, and I was like, oh, I love this colour, this maroon. She goes, that's khaki green, babe. And I was like, see, to me, khaki green is so ugly. Now, why have I thought that? And I actually have to steer clear of green altogether because I can't match outfits. Because I've tried going down like khaki green routes before, and the outfits never match up because I see it as like a brown, or this one particular time I went, oh, what a nice maroon, gorgeous, deep red. She's going, that is khaki green, that is Christmas vibes, babe. And I was like, oh, that's embarrassing. So what were we talking about?
Your royal flush of the week,
that's right. Okay, sorry, we're way off on tangent. See, this is good. You're fitting in well here because we've already gone wild. So this girl, I don't even know her name because she's got a weird username here. KNZKNG, whatever that means.
Also, what's with that? Fix up your username.
I know. I know. Well, if I click her profile, she's actually only got 500 followers. So she's not a TikTok or anything, but shout out. Don't know what your name is, but she's from Denver, and she made this video the other day. Have a listen.
I just don't really think it's very fair that all of the morning people in the world can be like, sorry, I cannot attend that thing. That's past my bedtime. And everybody's just like, oh my God, yes. Love that for you. You get that sleep. You are circadian rhythm. You are in tune with our ancestors. We love that nighttime routine for you. But the second that a night owl, and like, so sorry I can't attend brunch at 9 a.m. Could we please push it back to like 10:30? Because that's when brunch is supposed to be anyway. Everybody's like, you're just like so sleepy. Like all you do is just like sleep. I just like really feel like you're like wasting the day. Are you okay?
Is that not me to a T?
Yeah, literally.
I'm still getting everything done. Do not judge me. I've always been like this. And the thing is, this goes way back to when I used to work at McDonald's and do overnight shifts. And my grandma in particular couldn't understand the fact that I would go to work at 9 p.m. and finish work at 5 a.m. or somewhere around those times. I used to do the overnight shifts at McDonald's. The thing as well on an overnight shift at McDonald's is it was me and two other people, the manager and someone to make the burgers. I was the order taker, the order giver, the packing the bags, the everything, because the manager has duties to do overnight. The other guy's making the burgers. I'm doing everything else. That includes making coffees, cleaning the entire store top to bottom for the next day. Obviously, you don't have as many cars coming through at 3 o'clock in the morning, so you've got time to get all that done. But it is just me, or it was just me at the time. And so I would do all of that, go home, and then obviously sleep all day, ready for the next shift the next night. And like people in my life, including my grandma, would be like, aren't you up and doing things? I'm like, do you not understand? I'm working. Like I'm still working. It's just at a different time to everybody else. And look at me. I still get everything done. I still show up where I need to. But God forbid, I don't want to get up before 9 o'clock in the fucking morning.
And it's like you come out of your bedroom, it's like, oh, good morning, when it's the afternoon. Oh, good afternoon.
No, I say good morning, and I think that's why I still say good morning no matter what time it is. And as I said before, that's how you can get a gauge on people. If I walk into a room, it's 4 p.m. and I say good morning, and someone goes, it's afternoon. Not a vibe. Not a vibe for me. But if I walk in and go, good morning, and someone says good morning, and my best friend came over the other night at like 6 p.m. and he walked in and said, good morning. And I was like, yeah, isn't it?
Okay, so if you are going to go out for dinner with your friends, what's an appropriate time to do that?
Oh, at any time. Because, I mean, 6 till 9, I would assume, is like a good window. Oh, we wouldn't start at 9.
Okay.
I think the latest dinner reservation I've ever done is probably 8:30.
That's very late. I feel like that's like a real cool underground place that you would go to have dinner at 8:30. I'm
Really?
like 5 p.m. seating, babe. That's
Really?
the ideal time for me. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So you wrap up by about 6:30, go get some ice cream on the way home, and then you can do your skincare, getting your comfies, and it's bloody 7:30. It's amazing.
You know what I am loving at the moment, and I just want to give a shout out, and also sponsor us if you'd like, because I'm that into you at the moment, is going out for dinner with friends and then having a cheeky little Messina.
Oh.
A cheeky little Messina. And I've got a wild recommendation for you. When you go to Messina,
Yeah.
what's your flavour that you get?
I always get the specials.
Oh,
and I'm
okay.
that annoying person that's like, oh, can I just try the glasses Nikki or whatever it's called with the peanut chunks and the fudge and the cookie? Oh, don't really like that. Can I try that one? Because I'm about to invest $7 in a bloody scoop of ice
Yeah,
cream.
right.
I want to make sure I'm doing it right.
Yeah.
What's your flavour?
I only get one thing. So before I used to do the dolce de leche, the dulce de leche, the dolce de leche, and I used to be exclusively that one because I love the caramel. But then one of my friends suggested that I try Coneception, which I tried. It is basically, I don't really know what flavour I think it's waffle flavoured ice cream, I
Yes.
think, with crushed up pieces of the waffle cones
Amazing.
from Messina through it, and then I get it in a cup. I mean, you could go the extra mile and get it in a cone, but I think that's a little bit too much cone for me. So I get it in a cup, and it is the best ice cream flavour or that I have ever had in my entire life, and it sounds so rogue, but next time you go, just like try a scoop of it, because it sounds boring, it sounds really basic, but it's so delicious. And the only other ice cream flavour that is better than that I've tried in my entire life is Cold Rock cake batter. Oh, Cold
See-
Rock cake batter, yum.
Cold Rock, for me as a kid, I could never get it because it's too bloody expensive.
I know, my
There's
parents were
like
the
a million
same.
kids in my family. So it's like, well, just get some home brand ice cream and crush up some M&Ms on the, when you get home.
That's what my mum used to do. We'd buy a box of favourites and a tub of Peter's ice cream, and she'd be in the kitchen with the spoons, crushing it all up for us.
Just working up a
Well,
sweat.
yeah, because she'd go, no. At Terrigal on the Central Coast, there was a Hog's Breath, and then there was underneath the Cold Rock.
Hog's breath.
And so we'd go to Hog's Breath, which, again, shout out to Hog's Breath. Any of those left? I think there's still 1 in Tamworth, and that's about it. Love a Hog's Breath. That's where curly fries first came into my life.
Yes.
Oh, God, you know what? Keep it simple, stupid. Hog's Breath just does it right. They do it right. They've never deviated, and it stayed good the entire time. Love a Hog's Breath.
We need a Hog's Breath in Sydney.
We do. But we obviously would go out for dinner. That's where we'd all go for our family birthday dinners and stuff, was Hog's Breath. It was easy. Everyone could get what they want. We're a very plain family. We
Yeah.
don't venture out into it's like steak and chips or burger and chips.
and it
or
comes with a little flag in it. to
Grandma,
say how it's
yeah.
been cooked.
Grandma doesn't have anything but fish and chips. I don't think I've ever seen Grandma eat anything but fish and chips in her entire life. We're a very basic family. And so then we'd finish and go downstairs, and Cold Rock's right there, and I'd be begging for a Cold Rock, and then Mum would be like, "No, I'll make you one when we get home." And so we'd have the Povo Cold Rock at home.
Got like black and gold ice cream from
Yeah.
IGA.
Oh no, remember Franklin's? We had a Franklin's round the corner from where we live.
Franklin's.
Yeah.
And Bilo as well.
Yes.
Did you have Bilo in the Central Coast?
We did have Bilo, but
Yeah.
all the Bilos were made into Coles. But it's funny because on the Central Coast, we still call it Bilo. So there were all the Coles on the Central Coast, and then there was also one Bilo. Shout out to the Central Coast, Killarney Vale Bilo, right? And it's now changed to a Coles, but no matter what, everyone that I know on the coast still says Bilo at Killarney Vale because that's what it was, and it's ingrained in our hearts forever.
Kind of like Maya and Grace Brothers. Remember when it was Grace Brothers?
Yeah, but I went straight to Maya and thought, no, that is more chic. I thought, yeah, no. But I do miss the Grace Brothers houndstooth pattern.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
Also the little jingle, Grace Brothers, where else? Do you remember that?
No.
Oh.
Well, did
Probably-
Franklin's have one? Because when we mentioned Franklin's earlier, I thought, Franklin's, dun, 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 something like that. I don't
I
know.
don't know.
No, what's the one that goes, where the community benefits? Is that IGA? No, Richie's. That's Richie's. Richie's, where the community benefits.
What is Richie's?
Oh, God, I don't know. Isn't it a supermarket?
Didn't have that in Sydney.
Oh, okay, yeah, no. I think there was a Richie's on the Central Coast. I can't remember. We also had this thing, let me tell you. Sorry, Central Coast law, once again. But we had this thing on the Central Coast at Eora called Cash and Carry. Cash and Carry. It was this huge warehouse, size of a stadium, just absolutely huge. Whatever you needed, it had. It had this whole fabric section. It had toilets. It had
To buy or to use?
To buy, but
What?
just kind of like, imagine the base warehouse. We all know the base warehouse, right?
Yeah.
Imagine that, or like a hot dollar or something like that. But imagine there were no shelves. It's just in a warehouse. There are no shelves. Toilets are just sitting on the floor ready to pick up with a $5 sticker on them. They had Chloe Morello makeup palettes. They had CDs from the 1980s. They had pens. They had books. They had calendars from 3 years ago. Like, it was a junkyard, but you'd go in and sometimes they'd do like $10 filler bags as well. And so if we wanted a good day out, you know, my parents would take us to Cash and Carry and I would go sick in those aisles, and it was one of those places that had so much stuff, but you rarely walked out with anything.
Yeah.
You just kind of went for a browse to see what kind of weird items there were, and then you might find something and, you know, fill the bag for $10. But most of the time I remember we didn't, and it had a strange smell. Everything smelled wet. I mean, that's culture, isn't it?
But what kind of things would you walk out of there with?
Oh, like toys. There was like a toy section.
Yeah,
But-
they're like a bit mouldy.
Yeah, but it wasn't second hand. It's more like damaged stock.
Okay, yeah.
So it wasn't like it was a second hand thing. Like, it was like the toilets have been put there because, I don't know, no one bought the toilets, so they go to Cash and Carry. And I think I don't know how it worked, but I think the gist of it was they would like buy stock that wasn't selling from
Yeah,
other places
right.
for real cheap and then chuck a couple dollars on it. And I remember the cans of drinks were 50 cents, which, I mean, in this day and age, imagine that. Imagine that. I used to work at a DVD store on the Central Coast as well. This is a very Central Coast episode today. Sorry, everyone. Very niche. I used to work at a DVD store, and the cans of drinks were $1. And this was on the cusp of DVDs and things going out.
Yeah.
So no one got any DVDs. They just came in for the $1 cans of drink. And do you want to know a funny story from when I was working there?
Absolutely.
Again, I'd work the late shifts till about midnight at the DVD
Always
store.
a night owl, doll.
And I remember one time I almost burnt the place down because I put my dinner in the microwave with the alfoil still on it. The aluminium foil went in the microwave. No, actually, sorry, that's a lie. It was a fork. I chucked the fork in. That's what it was. And I remember seeing the smoke coming from the back thing and went, oh, God, forgot about my dinner. Went out there. The microwave is conducting lightning in the back fucking
It
office.
makes a really fucked noise.
Yeah.
It's like,
Bzz, bzz, bzz. I can see the sparks of lightning in the thing. I'd left the fork in the bloody thing. Anyway, almost burnt it down one time. Another time was...
There was another time?
No, there wasn't another time that almost burnt it down, but this is so funny. So what happened was I was checking someone out. They were getting some DVDs, and he picked something up off this bin, the DVD bin where we'd do, you know, the old ones, you know, the old DVDs that people would borrow. We had this bin where you could buy it for $1 and just keep it. And so there was a bin there. And I'm checking him out at the register going, that'd be $5. And he pulls out this knife and holds it up to me. Don't worry, the story goes somewhere you won't know. It's this huge butcher's knife. Huge butcher's knife.
Out of his pocket?
He pulls it out and he holds it up to me. And he goes, is this yours? And I've jumped back against, you know, the back wall, ready to hit they had one of those buttons that call the
Emergency button,
security,
yeah.
and the police are meant to be there in a couple minutes. I'm ready to do that. I'm like, and it takes me a second to register. I'm like, I think I'm getting held up. But then he asked me if the knife is mine. And I was like, no, what? And I was like, no, that knife's not mine. And he was like, oh, okay, it was just on that bin there. And then he hands it to me and I just like put it behind the counter. And I'm like real shaken up about the whole thing. Check him out. He leaves. And I think to myself, where the hell has this knife come from? And so anyway, I'm a bit spooked about the whole thing. I'm thinking someone's come in with the knife, but then they've placed it on the bin And then they've left, and then he's picked up the knife. I'm like, this is really weird. So I told the manager the next day, I gave him a call, and I said, hey, can you just check the security footage, please? Because, this is what's happened. Explain to him what's happened. I said, someone's brought that knife in and sat it in there and gone again. Like, I just want to, just for my own peace of mind, know where that's come from. So he checks the security. Guess who was out the back in the office making their dinner, cutting up their sandwich with this big knife? And then I heard the bell ding. So I've walked out with the big knife from the back office, said, hello, how are you going tonight? I've sat the knife down on the bin of DVDs for some God-known reason, went behind the counter, served this man, who's then picked up the knife and held it at me. I put the bloody knife in the bin in the first place. And I'm sitting there and then I felt bad because I'd lied to the poor guy. And imagine that guy going home that day and thinking, where'd that knife come from? Well, it was me, but I've lied to his face and said, no, that's not my knife. It was my knife all along from the back office. And then I looked like a fool to the manager because I said, I'm really spooked. I just, for my own sanity, I just need to know where that knife came from. He had to call me back and said, you put it there. Oh, and I watched the footage. I thought, I'm so embarrassed. Caused this big hullabaloo. And it was my bloody knife that I'd chucked in the discount DVD bin to begin with.
That could have ended so badly. What if someone dodgy came in?
Well, I know.
When you're in primary school and you have to carry scissors and they're like, now hold it next to you and put the blade down. And you're just fucking putting it in the discount bin.
Big butcher's knife as well. Huge.
Like a machete cutting your sandwich up.
Yeah. But can you imagine him pulling that out on me? And even though he was like, is this yours? I've jumped back. I thought, here we go. My life's flashing before my eyes. I'm Sally Fletchering home and away, laying on the ground. Oh, my God. So anyway, the point of the fact of the matter is I've done plenty of jobs where I've had to work late at night. And I'm an out and proud night owl. And I can't relate. But going back to that TikTok, I think it is so funny that like people who sleep in get this like bad rap that they're lazy. And I mean, I am lazy, but they're lazy and they don't work hard. And so this is the thing that I experienced with a lot of people in my life when I was doing overnight shifts. Everyone just seemed to think that I was lazy. And I'm like, I'm doing 7 people's jobs overnight. Like, the people throughout the day, they've got 20 people to make the burgers and do all the things. I'm doing all that by myself.
Yeah, and then everybody comes in at like 2 a.m. after leaving the club and you're there bloody panicking. It's all happening.
And what was really bad about a Friday night overnight is the blue light disco would be across the road from my McDonald's that I worked at. And the blue light disco would end. And when it ended, that was when all of the other people finished their shifts and it kind of turned into late night. It turned into overnight. And so they would all come in and it would just be me standing there going, next please. But I'm doing drive-through as well. And I'm packing the orders and I'm doing everything, I'm a hustler.
This is why you work so hard now, you know? Never forget where you came from.
Hey. I don't know if that was sarcasm or not.
No, you do.
Are you being serious? Sorry, I'm used to Brittney telling me I don't do enough. So it's weird to have someone acknowledge how hard I work. I am a hustler. But also, I always say, I didn't work this hard to work this hard. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Didn't work this hard to work this hard. So I put in all the hard yards earlier so that it's not as hard and I can enjoy it now,
Actually, I remember we did like a Vox Pop little interview one day and someone asked you, what's your favourite thing about Starr? And you said she's the hardest working creator I know. And I didn't know I thought you were being sarcastic. So I said something really rude about you, like trying to give you the banter back. And you were like, I was being serious. I'm like, oh, sorry. I didn't know you were capable of being nice.
Sometimes. It depends what mood I'm in.
Yeah.
Depends what mood I'm in. But anyway, I'm here for the night owls. And we're today on this episode, we're celebrating the night owls. So shout out to you.
And don't put your forks in the microwave, please.
Oh, yeah, that too. Well, it was TV's Night of Nights earlier this week.
Allegedly.
156 TV Week Logie Awards or something like that happened. Obviously, if you're not from Australia, if you're an international scroller, a scroller abroad, if you will. The Logies are what's the equivalent for like America?
Think of
Golden Globe.
The smallest award ceremony, but it's like not even on the scale of the Golden Globes.
Yeah, true. Look, it's the TV awards, like TV shows and things like that. They're the awards here in Australia. We had the Logies this week. And I just have to say it. The Logies are fucking piss poor. They are. They are piss poor, embarrassing, tragic. Okay, I really got a feel for that this year. I haven't cared much in the past. The Arias, don't have a bad word to say about them. Love the Aria Awards. That's our music awards for all our scrollers abroad, like the VMAs of Australia, I guess. But the Arias I love. The Logies,
Fucking
tragic.
boring. Also, it's the same fucking people every year that are up for these awards.
Yeah.
I mean, there is one award that's for the best new talent, and there was the amazing Felix Cameron who starred in Boy Swallows Universe. He's like 11 years old or something. He had an amazing acceptance speech. He was up there crying. It was very sweet. Other than that, couldn't fucking care less.
I love kids that act 40.
Yeah.
Don't you? Like, he is like, what, is he 11? How old is he?
He's got to be around 11.
A bit older than that.
15.
15!
You reckon?
I think I read that this
Go
morning.
Google girl. Can we go Google girl, please?
Felix Cameron, phenomenal actor, by the way.
Well, I love kids that are 15 and act... No, wait. I love kids that are 15, look 11, but act 40. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he has such an old soul about him,
He
if
does.
that makes sense. How old? 15.
Wow!
Google girls come through with a 15.
Sorry,
That's
Felix.
wild.
Well, kids these days can't keep up.
He's great. Gold Logie went to Larry Emder, which... What the fuck has Larry Emder done in the last 20 years? I couldn't tell you. But I was rooting for Robert Irwin. I really thought Robert Irwin had a
Yeah.
good chance of being Gold Logie. I know he's fresh on the scene. It's his first year, all the rest of that. I don't know. I'm not here to have the discussion of whether he deserves it or not, but I thought they'd give it to him because I just thought that that's how it would swing. But Larry Emder getting it was so random for me. I don't know. I didn't even realise he was nominated for that, but I thought, you got your Sonia Kruger, even your Julia Morris, things like that. I was like, surely one of them, but good on him. Larry got it. Happy for him. Couldn't tell you what he's done in the last 20 years, but hope he's well. What did he used to host? Price is Right?
Price is Right? Yeah.
Come on down.
Yeah, I can actually see like a spinny wheel outside the studio here, and it's giving me Price is Right vibes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
We'll have a
I
spin of
used
that
to
later.
love that show.
Yeah.
But yeah, look, the other thing that pisses me off about the Logies is where's the social coverage, right? So when we've got something like the Met Gala or the Grammys happening in the US, I'm going to MTV social account refreshing. Every time I refresh, I've got someone's new outfit because I need to see what everyone's wearing. What are the vibes? What's happening? So I think that they should employ you and I, Matt, to go and do the coverage on the ground next year for the Logies. It could be you and I that saves it because I'm refreshing and it's like an hour between posts.
Yeah.
It's just not good enough.
And even the media who were there interviewing, just such a piss poor lackluster job. Like, I saw some TikToks from the night of some of the outlets that were the media outlets that were there. Sorry, Nova, if you were one of them. But there were some media outlets there interviewing people on the carpet, which I've got to say, first of all, the content was lacking. Boring. What's in your bag tonight? Which I thought was quite strange to ask what was in the bag. I thought, I hope they've not got anything in there that's going to, get them caught out. But anyway, what's in my bag? Boring. But to be fair, in the media outlet's defense, God, they're boring people. The interviews I was watching, I just thought, BORING, bingo, boring. I couldn't do it. I just thought, but you've got to be actors.
Yeah.
Actors, they are very demure, aren't they? No, what's the word? Stoic. They're quite stoic people. They're quite also the demure trend can get rooted as well. Hate that. I think it's so boring. So boring. I think it's also been overdone so quickly.
Yeah.
So quickly.
Have you seen all of the streamer brands now coming out with clips from like film and TV where they use the word demure and everyone's like, wait, this is actually a real word that wasn't invented on TikTok? I'm like, come on.
Oh.
Me looking up demure synonym or like demure definition.
Yeah. And, sometimes I think if it's that easy to go viral, why hasn't it happened? You know what I mean? To change the course of literally the entire world almost. Everybody's using it now. Everybody's doing it. And I'm like, good on her. Love that for her. Hope she's thriving. But I'm like, it's a weird one. It's a weird trend to go off.
I did see the creator who started the trend has now, earned enough money in the past couple of weeks to finish her transition. So that's amazing.
Yeah, from the Creator Fund, which again we were saying the other week we don't have here in Australia.
Nice.
Okay,
Okay, so if you were on the Logies carpet
Yeah.
and you got to interview the likes of Larry Emder and whoever else is in Australian media, what would you ask them?
Oh, I wouldn't be put in that awful position. I can't think like that because I'd rather be on the other side being interviewed.
True.
You know what I mean? I don't want to manifest being on that side of the carpet. I want to be manifesting the other side of the carpet.
Have you been to the Logies before?
No, which is probably why I hate them. No, but I just think like even the fashion the other night, I was looking at a lot of the fashion, which given my history on YouTube doing red carpet fashion reviews and things like that, I think I did a Logies one year. I don't know, the fashion was lacking as well from both the men and the women. I think two of my favourite, I wouldn't say best dressed because there wasn't much else to go off, you know what I mean? But actually they probably do win best dressed because there wasn't much else to go off. Would have been Tanya Hennessy, loved what she was wearing, and Maddie Mills, loved what he was wearing. The embellished blazer, etc., etc. They were my best dressed of the night. And although they both were absolutely stunning, it wasn't hard to win that. That's all I'm saying. Because I don't know what half the people on there were wearing, but I went, is this really? And Joanna, poor Joanna. What's her name? Can you please go Google girl, Joanna from Better Homes and Gardens. Get her full name for me. She is this gorgeous, gorgeous woman. I don't know who her stylist is, but she needs to be fired. Because Joanna, what's her name? Joanna Griggs. Oh, look at her. Beautiful, beautiful. Stunning. A national treasure. Gorgeous, right? I don't know. The dress she was wearing was giving Shein.
Can we put it up?
Yeah, we'll get up a photo of her here so you can see. No, that's last year's one. That one's actually gorgeous. Let's put in Logies 2024 for me. Have a look at that. Yep, that one. What the hell in the Fashion Nova is going on there? Sorry. I mean, loving the low cut. She looks absolutely gorgeous. A fabulous little fake tan on her. Gorgeous, stunning. But that dress, I mean, we're sorry for the scrollers. We're just scrolling on Google right now through all of the looks. First of all, why do men even bother? They just
do literally nothing.
Get off the carpet. You're wearing a black suit with a white t-shirt. Can't be bothered looking at you. Give us some pizzazz like Maddie Mills and hate it. Don't even try to defend it, Hannah. Hannah's over there going, that's nice. I'm going, no.
I like that. That's really cool. Not into the green velvet?
Who's that? No. And see what I mean. Now go back to Joanna because we've just scrolled through. Okay, to give you some context, scrollers, because I know it's a podcast and you can't even see what we're doing, but we've just been scrolling through a lot of the photos and we're going, yeah. And then Joanna Griggs has come up and we've all laughed. And I don't, not that this will get back to her because what the hell is she doing? She's not listening to high scrollers and none of you send it to her. Okay, this is what stays in the group chat happens in the group. Whatever the fuck. Oh fuck! I didn't see Kate Ritchie. She looks fucking phenomenal. Look at that.
Oh
wow. Hang on, she might have bumped Tanya Hennessy off best dress.
Bit
Sorry.
of drama.
Wow, Kate
She's got this
Ritchie.
beautiful kind of, it's fitted corset on the top and then some, is that tulle on the bottom?
Oh my God,
wow.
Actually, that's taking my breath away.
And thank God she got a good pic because that's the other thing with the Logies. People are just uploading these photos on a media wall. I'm like, where's the good lighting?
Yeah.
These poor people have got the shadows on their face, you know. I'm sure it's a really hectic kind of evening when you're there, but... Oh dear. Oh.
I mean, yeah, gotta say, good on them. They're there. I'm not Ada Nicodemu looks gorgeous. That's fine. Samantha Armitage, what's going on there? Send me love. Send me. Jessica Rose. Oh my God.
I like the sleeves of Jessica
Oh
Rose.
my
Yes,
God. I mean, really, it's disappointing, but it's fabulous. Who's that? Missy Higgins? Not bad, actually. That's quite nice. What's she doing there? Isn't it the Logies? She's a musician. What's Missy Higgins in? Has she done something?
She's just Australian media.
She's
She's
probably a judge on some stupid show. Anyway, there's Larry.
I think maybe, is there a dress thing, like a theme for the Logies? Maybe they should set a theme and that would be easier to work with.
I don't think there is, but maybe there needed to be. Oh, Ding Dong Denise Drysdale looks absolutely fine. That's gorgeous, but you know, again, that's giving Nan dressing up for a family lunch. You know what I mean? Sonia Kruger always wearing and doing way too much. You know. Carrie Bickmore, sure, gorgeous, but I've seen her look absolutely, 100 out of 10.
Oh, Shelley Craft in the red, that's gorgeous.
No, I don't like red on a red carpet.
Really?
Yeah, don't like red on a red carpet. But anyway, the point is I'm just having a bitch. I'm a bitch, whatever. The point is the Logies, see with the arias, I feel there are people who don't put in effort, but then there's people who really do. And I get that it's meant to be like, the Logies is almost like a gala as opposed to like an awards ceremony. And also perhaps it's an audition. Because it is TV. Like with the arias, you can take those risks and all the rest of that. Okay, here we go. This is what I always do. I flip the script now that I've had time to think about it. I've come in strong. I've said, they're all fucking ugly. And now that I'm thinking about it, I'm going, well, actually, it makes sense. Because if you look at the arias, perhaps that's, you know, if you're a musical artist, you do want to take those risks. You want to be seen because you want to promote your profile. Whereas with the Logies, perhaps because it's, you know, the industry night of nights and they want to look a little bit more put together, professional and subdued. Because that's such an actor thing.
Yeah.
It's not an actor thing to like stand out and be the loudest person in the room. Think of actors and when they do interviews and things like that, they're kind of reserved.
Want to be taken a bit more seriously kind of vibes.
Maybe, and perhaps because they're in the room like that, as I said, might be a bit of an audition. Like they're in the room, so they've got to be showing that they're always acting is what I'm saying. They're always acting. But yeah. Just disappointing. Give me fun. Do more. Now, the other exciting thing about having you on today, Starr, is you, like me, and unlike Brittney, are a big book reader.
Yes.
Although you're very slow. Are you
Okay.
still reading Iron Flame?
Yeah, it's the fantasy books take me so long because I'm like, oh, I need like a few palate cleansers in between. And I must say, I still have the messages from you that you sent me in January this year going, kind of thinking of getting into reading. Do you have any recommendations for me? I sent you like 7 book recos and you read them all in like a day.
Yeah.
Because you just read at an abnormal speed. How many books this year?
I'm up to 70 something.
That is.
I've really slacked off. In July, I only read 2 or 3 books.
Yeah, which is like a normal amount of books for a person to read.
Yeah.
But no, big news in book world this week, of course, is that the film adaptation of It Ends With Us has come out. It has hit cinemas and we've both seen it.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts?
Yeah, okay. So, first and foremost, I mean, you go first.
Okay. So
I want to know what you think before I make up my mind.
Let me gather my thoughts. So this was one of the books that kind of got me back into reading, and I read it a couple years ago. And I think it's always amazing when something gains this crazy popularity online because it gets people into the world of reading, which I love. There were definitely a lot of things in the book that I was worried about how it was going to come across in the film. Like the book is really quite cheesy and a bit cringe a lot of the time. And I was kind of pleasantly surprised to see how that translated into film. One of the things that I was like, oh gosh, how is this going to come across in the movie is that Lily writes her diary entries to Ellen, like Ellen DeGeneres. And there's a lot of Dory references and it's all about Ellen. And I was like, no, please don't do this in the movie. It's going to be so fucking cringe. And we only saw Ellen a little glimpse on the TV in the background.
They did like a nod to it.
Yeah.
Which I appreciated too. Not only because of the Ellen controversy over the last couple years, but also just because that's so random. Like to be obsessed with Ellen and be writing the love letters and things like that was wild. Also, I will say right now, like if you haven't seen the movie, potentially some spoiler warnings here but also it's not really a movie with spoilers, you know what I mean? I think that they did a really, really good job of adapting the whole thing that Colleen Hoover was talking about when she was doing the press for this movie, is that they wanted to keep it as true to the book as possible, because the amount of times that we read a book and then see the movie and it's nothing like the book, the amount of complaints that comes, and people are going to complain either way, right?
Yeah.
But they really tried to make it as true to the book as possible, and I felt while watching it that was 100% spot on. Like I was like, yes, that's exactly how I pictured this. To be fair, I only read the book a couple months ago, last month or the month before, and so the trailer had already been released. So when I read the book, I had Blake Lively in my head.
Right.
Whereas you read the book years ago.
Yeah.
So you didn't have Blake Lively in your head. So a lot of people have been saying that Blake wasn't the person that they pictured for that character. What do you think?
Yeah, look, I think when I read it, well, obviously in the book, Lily is a lot younger as well. So in the movie, they've aged her up like by, I don't know, however many years. So my picture of her was someone who was a lot softer in nature. And I think Blake Lively is such like a striking presence in whatever role she's in. So it definitely brought a different side to Lily. I thought that Justin Baldoni was amazing as Ryle. Like, he was so menacing and he really played that part well. Like, there were a lot of times in the movie where I had to close my eyes because it's making me really uncomfortable.
Really?
Yeah. I found, like, particularly the more heavier scenes, I was like, I actually can't watch this right now, which is definitely important to spark these conversations amongst people. But I mean, it was hard to read as well. It's hard to read and it's hard to watch, but I thought he did a really great job.
Yeah, right.
Atlas, perfect
Really?
casting.
No.
Yeah,
I
really.
wanted Atlas to be hotter.
You didn't think he was hot?
I mean, he's gorgeous, but like I wanted him to be like hot.
Yeah.
Like so hot I couldn't, I even think like Ryle could have been hotter too. Sorry. He's gorgeous. They're both gorgeous, but I'm like, could have taken it up that one more notch for me. Because the thing was, like, I think in the when reading the book, like, I loved Ryle and then obviously hated him, but with the movie, like, I hated him straight away. Like, I just didn't, in the book, I almost saw or understood the redeeming factors for, not for staying with him, but the attraction in general. And in the movie, I went, what's there to like about this guy? You know what I mean? And yeah, I feel like they did a good job. I will say, if you have read the book, I feel like go and see the movie, obviously, if you haven't already. If you haven't read the book, the one thing I thought was, as I was watching that first scene of them on the rooftop, I thought, if you haven't read the book, you'd be so fucking confused right now.
Yeah,
This
truly.
scene is like 18 minutes long, and it's just the framing and the everything and the conversations and all that and how fast it kind of gets into it.
Yeah.
I was like, if you hadn't read the book, like, you are missing so much almost context from that scene, and perhaps you would be a little bit confused about what was going on. I definitely think that the movie is going to be most enjoyed if you've read and loved the book. If you haven't read the book, I can't see you enjoying that movie.
Yeah, because you need all of the pieces of information. Because I
Yeah.
thought that too with the rooftop scene. I'm like, this is going for like 45 minutes.
Yeah.
What's going on? And it wasn't even like particularly funny or memorable in that
No.
way. It was just like, all right, let's move on from here. We need to change it up. The other gripe that I had was Lily and Atlas's relationship when they were teenagers. I felt that in the film it was positioned as being way more sexually charged as opposed to it being very emotional, kind of that soulmate connection that I felt in the book. And of course they are horny teenagers, so they would have to change it a little bit to be able to, adapt it to the screen. But watching it, even though I have read the book, I was going, so she just like let this guy into their house, had a little
Right.
smoochy smooch, had a little root, and then,
Right.
I really wish that they went a little bit deeper
Yeah.
with showing the flashbacks, because also how amazing was the casting of the younger actors
I know.
compared to, and even like she had a little birthmark on her face in the exact same spot as Blake Lively.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
I know, because the whole time I was like, oh, they've like added the mole. Like,
Yeah.
And then when I've seen the press interviews and stuff, and they've actually discussed that as well. People thought it was prosthetics or something.
Yeah.
And it's not, which is kind of wild. Like, that's kind of almost a bit scary that they're so identical. But yeah, the younger cast was amazing. Blake Lively actually did a great job. I loved her, but the standout was the best friend.
Oh yeah,
Alyssa.
She was great.
Oh, love her. Love. But yeah, all around, like, I really enjoyed myself. I really loved it. I thought they did it justice. But I think if you haven't read the book, weird movie to just go in blind to.
Also, just quickly read the book. It's not that long. Colleen
I know.
Hoover's books, they're all page turners. Chuck the audiobook on
Yeah.
1.5 speed. You'll be thrilled in no
Yeah,
time.
it took me a day or two, I reckon.
Yeah, well, your reading pace is
Sorry, I'm over here like Kath Day Night, skimming through.
Skimming through.
No.
Look, for me,
But I
it
will
was...
say, no, sorry, before you go on that, I
Okay.
will say, ask me any question about any book I've read this year, couldn't tell you a fucking answer.
Oh, as soon
Couldn't
as...
tell you. I am there for the quick, thrilling aspect of it. I want that quick, satisfaction.
Yeah.
And then I never think about that book again. Do not think that I am here, and if you ask me a question about all the books I've read this year and go, what happened in this book? I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you. I'm not retaining any of this information. Yeah. For me, it's about just the thrill of the story, the jaw-dropping, you know, especially with a thriller. I'm like, oh my gosh. And then that book's done. Finished a book last night. Couldn't tell you what happened. They kidnapped some kids or something or other, and that was the end of it. But I remember my jaw dropping like 20 times, and that's the thrill I wanted.
I messaged you the other day. I was like, hey, what's the name of that book with the kidnapping that you were reading?
Which one? Which one? That's half the books I read. With a kidnapping trope. Like every thriller has like some aspect of kidnapping in it. I said to her, which one are you talking about? Oh my gosh. Yeah, so whatever. What were you going to say?
I was going to say, look, for me, It Ends With Us, a movie. I feel just meh about it. I just feel a little bit neutral. I wasn't like, this movie has completely changed my life. There is a lot of time and space between when I first read the book and when I watched the film. Mm-hmm. I would watch it again when it comes onto streaming, but I probably wouldn't, you know, go chuck the $25 or however much it costs these days to go get a movie ticket and see it again. I'm just like, I just feel like kind of my life feels kind of the same before and after seeing it.
How much does it cost to go to the movies these days?
Well, if you join like a rewards program like I have, you can get it for like $18.
Oh,
but
okay.
It's bloody expensive.
Yeah. Well, because it's not the actual movie, it's all the upgrades as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
The popcorn and the drink and the rest of
$16 for a medium popcorn.
No, ridiculous.
I'm shoving a bag of popcorn down my pants and walking in go to Coles and then go to the movies.
But also, like, yeah, my thing is, see, I mean, I don't run a business, so I don't know. But my thing is, if they made those things more affordable, I would purchase it at the movies because it's more convenient. Like, it's less convenient for me to go to Coles and get a few snacks and things and take it to the movies, right? But if I went to the cinema and it was $5 for a popcorn and $5 for a drink, as it should be and as it is everywhere else, I think I would... Like, popcorn's cheap to make. Come on, everyone. And then your fountain drinks as well... you know, the ones that you just press the button and it shoots out the soda, like, they are piss cheap as well. So there's no reason it should be $11 for a Coke because on a, like, I don't know how much it actually costs, but I remember doing the maths when I've worked places that have the fountain drinks before. Sometimes it'd cost 11 cents for one drink, and you're selling it for $4.50, which is fine. I'm happy to pay $4.50. But what I'm trying to get at here is, I mean, I understand that there's probably a way that they run their business, but if the things were cheaper, I would buy them at the movies, in turn meaning more people would buy it at the movies, in turn meaning perhaps you'd make more money than selling it for, like, you know, it's cost me $80 to get a couple snacks at the movies.
Yeah, but I reckon it's like the snotty kids who are there with their parents and like, I want to get fairy floss, and it's right at their eye line, so people will just buy it anyway. Just purely because of convenience, because it's there. But me personally, I'm not dropping $11 on a bloody bag of Maltesers because that is ridiculous.
No, or fairy floss. What's that sugar that's been heating up and thrown around the room? Like, I'm not sorry. You know, I used to work in a place with a fairy floss machine.
How many fucking jobs have you had?
I've had every job under the sun. Like, name a job I have had it. I have worked on a merry-go-round. I've worked on the clowns. I've worked at, you know, the clowns, you put the ball in the mouth and the clown spits it out, you win a prize. I've done the fairy floss. I've done corn dogs. I've done all the fast food you can think of.
You're a carny. You've run away to the circus.
The carny was like my first ever job, but I never talk about it because it was so illegal, because I was only 11 years old running a merry-go-round. I mean, the work health and safety, you couldn't fucking do it. But these days you'd go to jail. But I was 11 years old.
Same age as Felix Cameron from Boy Swallows Universe.
Yeah, right? I was 11 acting like a 40-year-old. But yeah, no, I have worked, like, name somewhere, I've probably worked there. I've done it all. I've done every industry to try and find the industry that I want to do. And I'm still doing everything to this day. I mean, I've done the social media and then I go, oh, I better try DJing. You know, I better do a podcast. I better do the comedy shows. I just can't sit still, love, you know?
You say you're lazy, but you're actually not. You work bloody hard.
Yeah, I agree. Thank you. Appreciate you boosting me up, you know. Brittney, I hope you're listening to this and realising that this is what I need from a co-host is this kind of support. Just gas me up, because my ego's already through the roof, so you may as well just let it go skyrocket, honestly. But this has been absolutely so fun. And look, because Brittney isn't here this week, I guess I'll say... Oh, you want to say it?
Can
Sorry,
I say
the
it?
look on your face. Okay, go ahead.
I've been waiting for this all day.
Go on.
Another episode done and dusted.
Woo! Starr, thank you so much for joining us here at High Scrollers
My
today.
pleasure.
If people have loved listening to you today, where can they find you on the internet?
Yes, so my Instagram is Starr, STARRMCG, like the
Yes.
cricket ground.
Yes, love
and
the
then my
cricket ground.
TikTok is just Starr, STARR.
Oh, you got that?
Yeah,
And nothing.
did.
Oh, that's
yeah,
nice.
It's pretty iconic, hey?
That's nice.
Yeah, I think they booted whoever else had the name.
Nice.
Yeah,
Okay.
they got dropped
stunning.
down to user 12345.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Loving that for you. Well, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank
Hopefully you'll be
you.
back if actually, no, I'll try and get someone else. I think this would be fun. I was going to say, if Brittney's ever sick again, I'll call on you. But I actually think it would be fun to get someone else and see how shit they are compared to you. Because this has gone as good as it could have. You know what I mean? Like this was
Keep me on standby for when the other person sucks.
yeah, this was a stellar episode. But I'd love the contrast of getting on someone absolutely horrid and just like no chemistry whatsoever. And yeah, I mean, anyway, the point of the fact of the matter is, thank you for listening, Scrollers. Thank you for being here, Starr. Brittney will be back with us next week. Anyway, Dal, I better let you go. I've got to go put this big knife away. Where did this come from? Who put this in here?
Is this your knife?